Hello and welcome everyone. It is fantastic to see each and every one of you here. We are going to help you to learn how to use social media for success as a direct seller in your party plan business. And what a super event. We've got Karen Clark as our guest trainer today. Hello, Karen.
Hi.
Great to see you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're so excited. So as everyone arrives into the room, and I can see that you are rolling in there right now, go ahead and type a little hello into the chat box. I've just said a quick little hello out there to everybody. I'm Melanie Parker. I'm the founder of Party Plan 123, and I've invited each and every one of you to join us here today to be able to help you to learn how to never ever run out of party bookings again, but more specifically today for social media. We've got so much coming up for you in this event. Good on you, Sally. Oh, Melissa, Jackie. There we go, Fiona. Hi. So everyone, let's say hello to Karen as well. And can you please tell us which direct sales company are you working with and which country are you in? I'm joining you from Australia and we've got Karen live from the States today. So hi, Jane. Hi, Kate, Carol. So we've got Kate in Texas. Hopefully it's not still flooding there for you. Okay, so we've got so much coming up. I want to let you know a little bit about the content in this training today. So we're going to help you with knowing exactly how to spend your time efficiently in your direct sales business when you're using social media to promote it. We want to help you with how to focus your connections on people, connecting with people rather than just collecting people and trying to get fans. It's actually about the connections and the relationship building. We want to give you 3 most powerful steps, which Karen calls her CPR strategy. And then, of course, Karen's going to finish it off with giving you her 911 emergency code. So we want to help you to know how to attract and serve your followers on social media. So who's meeting Karen Clark for the first time today? Just tell me, answer this into the comments right now. Is this the first time that you are hearing from Karen Clark today? Just write yes or no into the comments and we'd love to hear from you. So I'll tell you a little bit about Karen and then she's going to share the screen, show some slides, and let's get underway. So today we're welcoming Karen Clark, Karen specializes in teaching, inspiring, and empowering direct sellers to grow their business through social media ethically and effectively. I really love that. Taking her own direct selling business to the highest level of the compensation plan was just the start for Karen Clark. And in fact, as a top leader and a director of consultant development for the company she was with, she created training programs for the entire sales field before founding her social media training business, which is called My Business Presence. So now, with 19 years experience successfully marketing businesses online, Karen has walked the walk. So we are in safe hands today. She is an absolute professional when it comes to using social media effectively for your direct sales business. She's also an author. She's got a book series called Social Media for Direct Selling. And what I love about Karen is that her approach to building an online business, it integrates what we would call real life person-to-person principles, along with smart internet marketing strategies. And it really emphasizes connecting with people and not collecting fans and people along the way. Right. So ladies and gentlemen from Party Plan 123, give us a big virtual round of applause and welcome our superstar guest trainer, Karen Clark. So welcome, Karen. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited to meet everybody. And if anybody's over where we're going to be doing that workshop too, I might actually get to meet some people in person, right?
That would be wonderful. And thank you for the reminder. So, Karen, I'm going to put some reminders up into our comment screen. So just quick instructions for everyone. If you're joining us on this webinar platform for the first time, if you're on a computer, you'll find the comments and the link buttons are showing up on the right-hand side. I love the emojis coming in the comments there. Yeah. Thanks, Jackie and Cheryl. If you're on a mobile phone, you just need to minimize the screen a little bit and then you'll see the comments and the buttons underneath. If you can share this event out with your team, We've actually updated which platform we are using here, and I'm just trying to work out the easiest way to share the button. I will post a link into the comments in a moment. So Karen and I are going to be doing an in-person event in Melbourne, Australia, in about 3 weeks from tomorrow. So who have we got here who either lives in Melbourne or close enough to come and see us for an evening? It's on a Friday, the 13th of October from 7 till 9 p.m. Karen will be talking on social media, and I'll be talking on bookings for Party Plan direct sellers. So I'll put a link into the comments for that in a moment. So thanks for reminding us about that, Karen.
Super exciting. My daughter actually is studying over there, so we decided, well, we must simply go visit her. So Melanie and I thought it would be fun to do something together while I'm over there. So I can't wait to meet some of you possibly. I hope you can come.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Okay, let's go ahead. Should we go ahead and dive into the content? And I've got a lot to share with you all. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So don't worry about taking notes. You'll be able to get the replay, and a lot of the information will be on my slides. And we also will have time to take questions at the end also, because some of you might be kind of new to this, or maybe you've been dabbling on your own but haven't really dived in. Some of you might be more advanced. I can take anything at all. So feel free to type in a question, and I'll stop every once in a while, or maybe just at the end take some questions. So I don't want you to feel shy or like you're overwhelmed at all. Feel free to type those in. And let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. And let's go do that. Make sure I'm doing this all correctly. Okay, and I'm going to hide my camera for now, and I'll be right back. So let's go ahead. Okay, good. You can see me?
I'm watching from my end here as an attendee too. So
wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to talk about how to use social media for direct sales. And as you know, direct selling is more or less has always been a person-to-person business. And I have to say, in the beginning, when I first started to teach social media marketing to different companies, and within the company that I was in, I got a lot of resistance because people were afraid that they're going to lose that human connection because of the computer. It's so impersonal. Companies were afraid people are going to stop doing parties and all that. And honestly, I've never really seen it that way. I've seen it as a way to make new friends and to actually stay connected to people, and even sometimes make deeper connections. I don't know if any of you have had the experience where some of your best friends are the ones you've only known online, so to me, it's all about relationships. It's all about how you approach it. So what I'm going to be teaching you now is how you can truly foster those relationships that does not sacrifice the true nature of direct selling, which is the relationship building. And I really feel like we are the original social network, right? Like, what other kind of business model do you introduce yourself to somebody and they introduce you to their friends, and one of their friends introduces you to their friends, and so on? I mean, that's what social networking is all about. So if you think about Facebook, when you might have your circle of friends, and then one of them comments on one of your posts, and their friend might see it, or they share your post to their friend, and the next thing you know, somebody's friending you or liking your page, and it expands out from there. So I feel like when we overcomplicate things or think of it as technology instead of a relationship building tool that happens to use technology, I think that's where we go wrong. So what I'm going to teach you today is some different ideas for how you can truly connect with people, and just some mechanics and how-tos on how to really leverage the platforms the best. One of the things I like to start with, though, are a couple of cautions. Direct selling is a little bit different than a regular business model, where if you were to go to some social media training in your own town, they might be more geared toward enterprise, industry, corporate kind of feel. We are different because we have the hosting opportunities if you're Party Plan, the sponsoring opportunities in Party Plan and network marketing. And the truth is that people are constantly watching you to see how you're doing business, either because they want to join, and maybe they're thinking, they might not even be thinking it today. 2 years from now, they've been watching you this whole time, and they think, oh, I've watched her. I know how to do this business. I'm going to do it that way too. or they're thinking about possibly hosting a party and kind of looking at how you are. So for that reason, it's important to always, of course, be professional and realize that you're always a reflection of your business. And honestly, the same is true as in your offline business. We don't go into the grocery store and start having, heated conversations about politics or whatever if we have our logo shirt on for our company, right? So people, you might meet somebody who is asking you what you do or just curious about the company in some way. You want to always have your best foot forward. And another thing I like to point out is because of the duplicability factor, you also don't want to be spending all day on Facebook, right? We want people to know that this business involves a lot of different things, one of which might be social media marketing. The other might include making phone calls, going out to vendor events, maybe going into the beauty salon and leaving your business cards. There's a lot of different ways that we market our business, and social media marketing is one aspect of it. I've seen in the past people who are online all day long, and then they sponsor somebody in their company who thinks, oh, that's all I have to do is just go play on Facebook all day. And it's not as easy to duplicate success that way. So whether you're new or a veteran leader, be aware of that as well as your general behavior. I don't want to lecture you guys like your children or anything, but just kind of be aware of the fact that you're a reflection of your business and people are watching you who might someday join your business. There's also other rules to be aware of. Each of our companies has policies and procedures that you are required to follow, sometimes even a signed contract stating that you will do that most of the time, as well as the rules, policies, terms of service of each of the social media platforms. And one of the things that I see happening is that sometimes people try to stretch the rules a little bit, or they see somebody doing something and they think it's okay, but it's your responsibility as a business owner to check it out yourself with your policies and procedures, with the terms of service. I know we all read them, we say we read them. You check the little box saying I've read the terms of service, but I haven't actually read them. But it's your responsibility. So for example, here's just a quick example. On Facebook business pages, you see a lot of companies and brands will do contests. Your company might be doing this also. And it's actually against Facebook's rules to require people to share the post as a form of entry into the contest. Now, you see it happening. I follow a lot of radio stations and they do a lot of contests and giveaways, and they always say, share this post to be entered to win. Well, it's against Facebook's rules because Facebook isn't friends with you. So you can't see every single person's share, because if they've only shared it with their friends, you can't see that entry. So it makes it an unfair contest. So that's just one example. And so that's why it's important to connect with somebody who keeps up with this stuff like me. So I'm really one of those rule follower, and I really like to share that with people as one example to kind of just make you aware of how important it is. And same thing with your compliance policies and procedures. Things like if you sell a skincare or a weight loss product, you can't make health claims, medical claims. You can't make income claims as a direct selling business either. Now, this might only be with the US, but I'm assuming Australia and other countries, UK, have similar rules where things like you're showing yourself next to a Jaguar vehicle, fancy car, saying, oh, I'm so grateful for my business. I earned this car. And it's not true. And even if it was true, you still can't make that claim because it's not a typical income, right? It's a lifestyle claim. So there's things like that. Read your policies and procedures. Don't get yourself into trouble. And there's something called Facebook jail, which some of you might have been in or been familiar with. I will say I have a giveaway at the end of the webinar. We'll tell you how to get that, where it's a chapter from one of my books about Facebook jail, but I'm going to go over some of the most common ways of getting in Facebook jail. And this is specific to Facebook, but we're learning that a lot of the other platforms are following kind of the same suit and using the algorithm and, showing certain posts more than others. And sometimes it's because of these issues as well. So
Karen, do you want me to open up the free book chapter yet or later on?
Oh, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, if you want to in the chat room. They just need to know that to get that, it's at the very bottom of the page.
Okay, so if everyone watches the little spot where the offer box is at the moment, I'm going to take away the one for the evening workshop that we're doing, and I'll open up the one for Karen's free gift.
Yeah.
And the topic is how to avoid Facebook jail. So here it comes right now.
Perfect.
And I just want to say thanks, everyone, because we've got more and more people logging in for the webinar. So it's wonderful to see more of you here. And I've got the link in the sticky note at the top that's in a light green or yellow color. If you send your teams to partyplan123.com/guest trainer, that's going to get them into this event right now. We're recording this, so you will be able to catch the replay too.
Perfect. And I would like to point out too, in order to get that freebie, you'll need to confirm with your email address. You know how some systems make you hit confirm when you get it, just to make sure you really wanted it. And then you'll be able to get it. It's a PDF of one of the chapters from my first book, Social Media for Direct Selling Representatives, that talks about Facebook jail. And I think there's, 20 different ways you can get into Facebook jail. And I'm just going to highlight a few of them here. And one of the most common ones that I see is when somebody includes something about their business in a Facebook account. So like I can't say Karen Tupperware Clark or Karen Clark Tupperware as my account name. So every human being can only have one account, and it needs to be in your real name. Now, if you want to have a business name, that's when the business page comes in. And I'm going to talk about those a little bit more in a little bit. So don't worry about not being able to have your business in your name of your account. You're going to want a business page. And of course, you can talk about your business in your About tab. You can say that right on the very front of your Facebook. It says what you do. You can list your business page as your work. You can talk about it on the About tab, but not have it in your real name. And then please don't start second accounts. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't really want my business people mixing with my friends and family, so they'll start a second account. That's against Facebook's rules as well. You can't have duplicate accounts. You can adjust your privacy to make it so that certain posts only go to friends and family and certain posts only go to your business contacts. That's through something we call friend lists. Or you can shut down your privacy super tight and make it so that nobody can see anything or nobody can find you if you haven't already reached out to them yourself. And then just simply redirect people over to your business page by saying, hey, thanks for connecting. I'd love to do that over on my business page. So there's things you can do if that's your concern, but still one real name page and then one business page. And then one of the great things about Facebook recently is that you can also link a Facebook business page to a customer group or a team group. So you might have, all in all on Facebook, an account, which is your profile, a business page, which is your professional presence, and then maybe a group or a team group. And I'll talk about those in a little bit. But I want to make sure you realize don't start a second account and don't put your business name in your account name. Okay, the next most common reason for Facebook jail is if people are selling on their personal profile. So this is why I emphasize the business page. Of course, your business is part of your life. If you're like me, when I was in the field, I'm like eating, breathing, playing, vacationing. Everything has to do with my business. All my friends were in my business. It's what I do. Every single thing every day has something to do with my business or the connections that I've made there. So of course you're going to talk about how you're going to the park and talking to your team members, or how you're going on your incentive trip. You can talk about it that way, but do not have anything that is outwardly promotional originating on a personal profile. Those can get flagged as spam very easily, or Facebook has what they call negative feedback. If they see something that is kind of a selling nature on a personal profile, or if somebody has flagged it or hidden it, if somebody just hides your post because they're tired of hearing about it, that counts as negative feedback. And we don't know the number, but if you get too many of those, your account can get suspended, or they'll start watching you more closely and looking for the kinds of things that you post, and all of a sudden your post won't go through. So instead, now, of course, you have friends and family who might be interested in your business. You want to make your post start on a business page, and then once in a while you can share that post over to your personal profile, but have it start on your business page, because there's no such thing as Facebook jail on a business page. The only time I've ever heard of anybody getting into Facebook jail on a business page is because they liked comments in a party too fast, and Facebook would say, slow down, you're using that feature too quickly. So you just slow down a little bit and pace them out. But the business page is where Facebook wants us to do business. So anything that's of a selling nature, like with a link to where they can buy, start it on a business page, Share it to your personal if you really want to, or to your groups, those kind of things. But start it on this page. Okay. Next one. This has been really big lately, especially with the advent of Facebook Live. You cannot use images that are not your own or that you have not purchased somewhere. And music also. So you might have seen this yourself where a video doesn't play or it doesn't get displayed or it gets taken down because maybe you had the radio playing in the background. You didn't purchase the license to play that music from the artist. You can't have
Wow.
Beyonce playing back there. So they'll actually blank out your video or completely delete it. Yeah, because of the music in the background. And it's
Yeah.
really, it's protecting the artist. You know, they have that's how they make money, is when people pay to be able to broadcast their music. So it's as if they see your Facebook Live as, you know, your radio station or a TV channel playing their music. You can't do that without purchasing the rights to it. And same thing with images. If you are creating your own, I recommend leveraging the home office images for anything that's kind of product related anytime you can, just because we don't want to have, going back to the duplicability factor, we don't want people to feel like they have to become graphic artists to create their own stuff. But of course, you might have an inspirational quote and you want to use Canva or something and make a nice little picture with it. You need to make sure the image that you're using is something you have a right to do. You can't just go Google and find a picture, download it or screenshot it and use it, because what people are doing now, besides Facebook, which is already looking for duplicates and things like that, but people who are photographers have something they call a reverse image search. So they take their pictures, and there's even programs that will do this automatically for them. And they will find any instance that somebody has used their picture, because there's all this, you know, picture recognition software that they can use, and they will come after you and sue you. And it doesn't even have to be Getty Images or, you know, iStock or something like that, just individual photographers. And they'll report your profile or your page as infringing on their intellectual property. Facebook will shut down that image temporarily while it investigates it, and they could end up shutting down your page or your profile completely if they find too many violations of that. So I don't want to be all, this is very negative portion of the program, but it's scary, and I don't want anybody to get shut down, because if you're doing business on Facebook and if your account gets into Facebook jail for 1 week or 2 weeks, that can mean a lot of business for a lot of people. So we want to stay on the straight and narrow, follow the rules as much as possible, because of course there's no way you can call up Facebook and say, I didn't mean it. They don't care. They will shut you down, and then you don't even get to ask questions half the time. Sometimes there'll be a little link that says you can appeal this and explain your situation, but not often. So the intellectual property one is a big one recently. The other thing is copying and pasting has been getting people into Facebook jail. So whether it's a message you want to send to your Facebook party guests, or whether somebody gave you a script to use and you're using that as a post, or maybe your upline gave you some ideas for posts, I would not recommend copying and pasting ever into Facebook. The act of pasting, because all of the words appear at once, is detectable by the algorithm. They used to call it scraping. I haven't really heard that too much. But when you're pasting something in, it appears as if you are a spam bot. And Facebook can't tell that you're a real human being and that you have permission to do this and your company told you to. They can't tell that. They just automatically will either delete the post or say, this looks like something that violates our standards or something like that, and you might be prevented from posting. So what
And
I'd recommend,
Karen, are you recommending that for Facebook messages as well, private
yes.
messaging?
Yeah, in
Right.
fact, in messaging, that's where it started becoming a really big problem, because, you want to go remind your guests the party's starting, or, even like this webinar and things like that, you might have certain people you want to make sure don't miss it. And you don't want to sit there and have to type a new thing all the time, but it's becoming a big problem. So I would say anytime you can personalize a message in some way, look at it on your, printout or on your other screen, so you're inspired by what to write. But even if you said the exact same thing, but you physically typed it out, it wouldn't be a problem, because
Okay.
they're looking for that pasting. It's crazy. It's made it harder to do business, but then again, it helps us personalize things and all that. So in a little bit, I'm going to tell you about my 911 code. And this is one of the other ways that you can avoid being marked as spam. And it has to do with doing a lot less of the salesy kinds of posts, because of course, People connect with you as a human being, not necessarily because they need to hear which product they can buy 3 times a day. So when people get tired of that, instead of just unliking your page or even unfriending you, they will hide your posts. And as I said before, those add up and you end up getting into Facebook jail. So I'll tell you about that in a little bit, what you can do instead. And I'll actually give you some specific ideas. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of the different social media platforms. I tend to focus on Facebook because it's the easiest one for people to use. It's where the most people are, and it's been very successful for direct sellers. But we'll go through a couple other ones just to kind of give you some quick tips on them. So Pinterest, a lot of direct sellers love Pinterest. In fact, I would say it might be the next frontier for those of us who have something that is more visual in nature. Pinterest, I look at it as kind of like, when you have file folders, maybe you have a file drawer in your home office or your kitchen or something like that. And when you see an article in a magazine, you might tear it out and put it in there because you know you're going to do it someday. It's that kind of a place, except it's digital. So when you come across...
This is so exciting. Yeah. Karen, I've just jumped up on the screen for a moment because I just want to celebrate with everybody. We have never delivered you any training that helps you with things like Pinterest and Instagram and other types of social media apart from Facebook. And when Karen and I were doing a video chat and talking about what we were going to give you in this free training session, I asked Karen, I said, can you deliver some training on other social media platforms? Because we have never, ever done that. So get ready, everyone. The way that when I've been doing some research, and I use these platforms a little bit myself for Party Plan 1, 2, 3, but we'll be using them more in the future. And I am finding that Pinterest is probably the next best one that we will focus our time and energy on. And I'm also noticing that a lot of you are already using Instagram as well. So get excited, everyone, and say a big thank you, Karen, in the comments.
Awesome. Well, what's really cool about this is the principles that I teach about basically how you show up in social media, apply whichever platform you want to use. So once you've kind of got the thinking around it, the way that feels really good and focuses on the relationship, then you can use any of these tools in the same way. And I have to say, I'm not the kind that says you must be on Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and because we have a life and we want to focus on our business. But sometimes you might have, maybe you've been doing Facebook a while and you kind of got that nailed down and you really know, the different things. You have a routine for using Facebook, and then it might be time to move on to another one. And if you think of them as just different marketing avenues, kind of like sometimes you mail out a postcard, sometimes you make cold calls, sometimes you do the fishbowl thing at the beauty salon. It's another way to market yourself. So I like to give people options so they really understand which one might be the best for them. And you might find your people might really, maybe Pinterest, they're not on Facebook. They're really doing Pinterest, and maybe you'll decide to spend a little bit more time over there. So I love it. I think Pinterest is one of those things where people tend to save websites to, they call them boards, but it's like the folder, right, by a category for things they want to make sure that they keep for referring to later, whether it's a recipe or an outfit idea or information on travel and those kind of things. And every time that you save one of those sites, it goes out to your friends that you're connected to on Pinterest. So it shares it with them. So what's really cool about this is if you happen to once in a while share something about your business, it gets a lot of visibility. And one of the studies I read recently said that a large proportion of people on Pinterest go there to find things to buy, gift ideas, ways to improve their home, fashion ideas, beauty tutorials. So it makes it really ripe for direct sales. And because it's something like 85% women, focused on homemaking and shopping. I mean, it's just like the perfect world for us to hang out in. There is also another thing that you can do on Pinterest, and some companies have been doing this as well, is you can create boards where you can post images that people can share or download. You can also share different articles about things that they can then share out. You can make a secret board just for your team. I even have in my book on my chapters on how to do virtual parties, there's a way that you can do a party on Pinterest as well. So it's one of those very exciting platforms that I think is underutilized because it's not quite as mainstream as Facebook, mostly because it's almost all women. And one another thing that I read that I forgot to put on the slide is the average sale of people who click through on Pinterest to buy something is like $55. Where if you look at the sales that come out of Facebook, it's closer to $14. So people who are using Pinterest like to shop and spend their money. So it's something now you're going to learn later. I don't want you to be posting just about your products all the time, but once in a while when you do, it can be really beneficial. All right, let's talk about Instagram. So that's another one that's being really popular among direct sellers. I look at Instagram as people say it's, a way to share photos. So it's kind of like your photo album that you might have in your home where you have guests come over and somebody sees it over there on the little table and they pick it up and they kind of look at it. Or maybe you have your kids' photos along the hallway on the way to the bathroom, and they're walking down and they see those pictures. There's something about seeing somebody's pictures of their life that you all of a sudden you feel a little bit closer to them in a way. And maybe it's just me, I don't know, but there's like this bonding thing, like, oh, you went there, I went there too, or oh, your wedding dress was so pretty. It gives you something relatable with people. So I don't see Instagram as much for the really blatant marketing messages, but more of a window into your world. I even say on mine that I mostly talk about my kids and my dog or something like that, but it's a way for people to relate to you, and that kind of solidifies that relationship more than the posts that are strictly about the business. And it gives you something to talk about. It's also very discoverable. So Instagram has a section called, I think it's called Discover now. It's a little spyglass or magnifying glass on there. And if your post is getting a certain amount of activity, your pictures can show up there. So you can actually meet a lot of new people that way. You can also use hashtags, very popular on Instagram, probably more than any of the other social media platforms. And just a real quick rundown on hashtags, it's like a keyword that you put the little pound sign in front of, the little hash sign in front of. And on Instagram, when you tap on that from your phone, because Instagram is a mobile app mostly, when you tap on that, it brings you to all the posts about that topic that people have put that hashtag. So you are able to get found very easily by other people searching. So let's say I put hashtag beauty or hashtag makeup artist or hashtag recipe on the end of my caption of my post. People go to that Discover tab and search specifically on hashtags like that. So you can get found by people who've never met you before. You'll get their comments and likes and possibly following you, and it can help you meet new people that way. One downside of Instagram is each of the individual pictures does not have the ability to link to your website or anything else unless you are paying for the sponsored ads within there. You do have one link in your bio right at the top of your profile. So a lot of times people on Instagram will say the link is in my bio, and you can share it that way. And another interesting thing about Instagram is it tends to trend toward the younger generation. I have two daughters that are 23 and 20, and they both hardly ever go on Facebook, but they do go on Instagram regularly. So if you're looking to get some younger people into your team, or well, maybe you're under 35 yourself and you want to get some people like you, or those of you who've been around a little bit longer and you know you need to have some younger generation kind of start joining your company to keep things going, that certainly would be a place to hang out. And you do also have the opportunity to create your page or your profile as a business account. And with the business account, you get analytics, you get a little message me button or call me button. You can link it to your Facebook business page. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Facebook owns Instagram now. So you can actually, if you are going to pay for an ad on Facebook business pages, it can be set up to go out to your Instagram people as well. There's pros and cons. One con to doing it as a business account is that if you're posting a picture of, let's say we went on a vacation and I post a picture there and I tell Facebook to share it to my or I tell Instagram to share it to my Facebook also, On a business account, it will always share it to your business page. And it's just about, it's about my kids at the beach, so I have to go in there and change it. But you can change it from a business account back to a personal account anytime. So that's what I'll do sometimes when I know I'm not really talking about business stuff today. I'll change it to a personal account. But Instagram is definitely something to watch. It is a mobile only program. You can get to it from the web, but you can't post to it from the web at this time. All right, so let's talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I like to kind of parallel these things to real life. So like Pinterest is like what we call a potluck party where everybody brings a different dish. Instagram is like the photo album sharing. LinkedIn is like the formal meeting that you might go to. We have Chamber of Commerce meetings. You might have women in business networking meeting. And it's the kind where everybody's there from a different career or business. And you're kind of there because you're hoping to get some referrals to business or find out about a job. LinkedIn's primary focus is income producing activities in some way. So it really lends itself well to sponsoring and recruiting. So if you are a leader or you want to be a leader, I would say LinkedIn would be a good place to be. And the good thing about LinkedIn is you don't have to post every day or even multiple. It moves a lot slower because it's a smaller platform. So you can get by with once a week even. But focus on the team building aspect. So like in your profile, you'll want to talk about what you're a part of, but maybe also talk about how you are as a leader or what it's like to be a home-based business person. Those kinds of things because people are on LinkedIn looking for jobs. They're looking for ways to make money. And I have always felt that your business opportunity is your best product. So that's the place to highlight that. Not that you can't on the other ones, but people are there looking for that. Networking on LinkedIn happens in their groups or their communities. In your local area, you might have a group specifically about your metropolitan area, professional networking in your area. There's also a place you can write longer articles, kind of like blogs, and they get found by complete strangers because they're totally public. So if you like to write, you could even write something about, some aspect of the direct selling business or about having your own business or branding or home office organization or something like that other entrepreneurs might be interested in. And keywords in your profile are important. So let's say you sell a weight loss product. In your profile where you get to describe yourself, you're going to want to make sure that you're using the words weight loss business or whatever your thing is that you might call it. You want to use that multiple times in a natural way within the paragraphs of your bio because it's highly Googleable. In fact, all the social media platforms, the public sides of things, people can Google a question that they have and your social media profiles will come up. And LinkedIn is used not only within Google, you'll be able to find it, but within LinkedIn itself, people will search on those different things looking for people who might have that weight loss business opportunity. So you want to make sure your profile is filled out as completely as possible on LinkedIn. Okay, and then let's talk about Twitter. Twitter is one where I tend to get a lot of eye rolls when I ask in person and some of the audiences, and you may love Twitter, and they're like, oh no, don't make me learn Twitter. But Twitter is actually, it's kind of different. It moves very, very quickly. It's a mobile app as well as the web. I think of it kind of like more like a chat room. It used to be more conversational, and nowadays it tends to be people posting articles or links to their blog posts. But I look at it kind of like a nightclub on a Friday night in a busy business district where everybody's just going to let off steam. And there's a lot of conversations about current events. And so your job as a business is to kind of listen to where you can insert yourself into that conversation. And then you move on to the next one and the next one. It tends to be a little bit shallower relationships just because you can only type in 140 characters, very short. So if you're including a link in there, that's even less room to actually say anything. It tends to be people broadcasting a message out to the masses less than really engaging in conversations. It used to be a lot more engaging, but it's still useful, especially if any of you have a blog or other sites that you want to talk about, or maybe your company has a blog you're able to share. Those work really well. Hashtags do also work on Twitter. You just have a little less room to use them, but it can help you get discovered. One thing I like to mention is there's a thing called tweet chats. And tweet chats are when everybody meets on Twitter at a certain time and uses a certain hashtag. So like we could do hashtag party plan 123 and we say, okay, everybody, we're going to meet at Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we all go on there and every post that we put would use that specific hashtag. And then you can search on that hashtag so that all the posts are coming up from that. And so you can have conversations with each other. I've seen this done for opportunity events because it's public. All your rest of your followers are going to see all of the different posts. But the good thing about Twitter is they move so fast, it's not like it's overwhelming to people. So it's fun. There's even a website called Tweet Chat that makes it easier. It puts them all into one place. But think about that, maybe even like a team meeting kind of thing, if you don't mind it being public, because then your followers will say, what's going on? Oh, they offer this. This is cool. So that's something else you might want to look into. And then let's talk about Facebook. All right. So if Pinterest is the potluck party and Instagram is the photo album sharing and LinkedIn is the formal networking meeting, Twitter is the nightclub, Facebook, I think of as the backyard picnic or barbecue. So if you imagine this, you have a lot of different friends in your, what you'd call your friend circle, right? You have family, you have high school friends, you have neighbors, you have business associates, you have cousins, you have, the wives of your husband's friends, you have the mothers of the kids your kid goes to school with. You have all these different people in your life, and you're getting them together in this backyard barbecue kind of situation where it's a very casual because you're just hanging out having some burgers and hot dogs here, but it's not so casual that you're sloppy. It's the kind of little barbecue or picnic where you're going to put your cute jeans on and make sure the little napkins and the plates match, and because you're a reflection of your business all the time, but you're going to have mixed company. And because of that, you need to be careful about not getting too casual. Or, Facebook, there's a lot of conversations going on that might be things that could alienate people, like, politics or religion or race issues, those kind of things. You want to be careful, whether it's a personal profile or your business page, and just realize you are still a reflection of your business and anything that you do, but that you get to be more conversational. It's a little less formal than like LinkedIn. I'm going to want to make sure my post doesn't have anything grammatically incorrect on there. I mean, you want to be like that no matter where you're going to put a little more thought into it. On Facebook, you get to be a little bit more fun, let people see your personal side. And again, business pages are a must, I feel, for true success with Facebook.
Karen, are you there? Can you hear me at the moment? Yeah. We've just kind of lost your screen, and I think even my sound went away for a moment there. So let's just check that everything's coming back through. So I'm seeing us on the webcam at the moment.
Okay.
And while you do that, you might just want to unshare. Yeah, we're seeing you on the webcam now. So
now you're seeing me. Okay.
Yeah, so try sharing your screen again, and I'll let you know if it's coming through on my end as an attendee.
Okay.
But just to let you know, and also, look, I've been doing some research with all of our followers recently, and I'm noticing that pretty much all of us are on Facebook, but there's still a lot of us that don't really know how to use Facebook for business. So we're familiar with Facebook as just a participant.
Right.
But a lot of people with our group from Party Plan 123 are still really looking for like beginner stages help. We've got a lot of people who would describe themselves as a beginner, and then quite a lot as intermediate as well.
Okay, so good.
I'm loving how you're really making this totally understandable for all of us and explaining all the platforms too. I'm seeing your screen back now, so I think you're fine to go again into full presentation mode.
Okay, super. All right, great. That is very good to know. And I think that those of you who really want a lot of the details and the how-tos are going to like the special offer that we have later, but you'll get the general concepts here. So I'm hoping this is making a big difference. And really, the things I'm about to say, I would ask you to implement for the next 2 weeks and then get back to me on the difference it makes, because I find that sometimes there's just one thing that you can shift, and all of a sudden you get a flood of comments and shares and interaction, and you're like, oh, it's like you don't realize you've been doing it wrong, because that's kind of what everybody's doing. But sometimes it's just that one little thing that can make a big difference, because like I was going to show you on the next slide, is sometimes you feel like this.
Like we were just feeling.
Right. It's like, hello, anybody there? Because even if you feel like your content is great, sometimes nobody responds. And sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it is because they're just getting tired of hearing you say, buy my stuff, join my team, book a party. But sometimes it's the Facebook algorithm. So this will help you kind of understand how Facebook works and why sometimes your posts don't get seen, and why sometimes in your own newsfeed, you're seeing the same people all the time and not your real friends. It's this system called the algorithm. And actually, most of the social media sites are using this now. It is a mechanism that they use where they're watching how we interact on Facebook. In fact, they're even watching as you scroll through the news feed,
Yeah.
how much you stop and then
On
keep
each
scrolling.
post. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes,
And
it's
this is
crazy.
huge. What Karen is now going to be talking through for us is massive, because we've been doing a survey, Karen, with
Yeah,
our followers, and we are wanting to know, what does everyone want help with when it comes to using social media and online parties. And
yeah,
I'll share that survey right at the end if anyone
great.
hasn't had a chance to fill it in. But the feedback, I spent half of my day yesterday going through all the surveys,
Yeah,
and the feedback that I'm getting is that one of the biggest things that everyone needs help with is engagement. Like, how do
yeah,
I get people to interact with me on social media? And
yeah.
how do I get my posts to be seen by more people? So this is what Karen's helping us with right now. So woohoo!
Yes, yes. And sometimes, like I said, it's not your fault. And sometimes, as soon as you figure it out, they change it anyway. So it's good to be aware of. It's kind of like Google search engine ranking, where if everybody knew what the secret was to be number one in Google, the spammers would take over and it wouldn't be useful to us anywhere. So Facebook tries to do the same thing, and they're supposedly trying to make it so that everybody has a good experience and sees things they're going to be interested in. So the way they do that is they're watching your behaviors and things that they call signals, like, it has to do with mutual friends that you have, or how many of your friends like that post also. Like I said, how even on videos, how many times have you waited and watched something to the very end versus you watched it and clicked off? If you do that too many times, they stop showing you that person's videos. So it's watching all the things that you do and paying attention to what you might be interested in. And so it can be frustrating as a consumer watching, looking at the news feed, wondering why these things are repetitive. Sometimes it'll show you something that's 2 days old. It's because it really thinks you'd be interested in it for whatever reason. That's why when you like and comment on things, it teaches the algorithm to show you more of those things. So ideally, as a business owner, you want to be posting things that are going to compel people to like and comment on them, because that teaches the algorithm to show your posts more to those people. So really, that's one of the biggest tricks, is to watch the type of content that you're posting. So now we're going to be talking about the 911 code. And this is something where I would just ask you to suspend any kind of thought about what you normally do and try this for a couple of weeks and see what a difference it makes. And I can tell you, I know some of the different reactions that might be coming up. Feel free to type it into the questions, but I'll also give you some solutions and kind of calm you down with this, because it's going to be foreign to some of you. But it has to do with the proportion of the types of posts within a certain amount of time. And it could be within a week, it could be within 3 days, it could be within 2 weeks. But I'm going to ask you to do 9 posts that are not marketing your product at all, like not selling anything. And I'll give you some ideas of what I'm talking about in a minute. To every 9 of the non-marketing posts, you then post something promotional where you're saying, buy my stuff, join my team, book a party. And then you throw in 1 casual or personal post, something funny, or just something about yourself and your life. And the reason this works is during those 9 posts, when maybe you're sharing a tip or an idea or an how to, but you're not saying, oh, buy this product to do it, people are trusting you. They're starting to get the sense that you are their go-to person on this topic. You're my expert in makeup or organizing or whatever your thing is, right? So that the one time when you do post something that's a buy my stuff, join my team, book a party, they will follow you to the ends of the earth, because they feel like You care about them. You are serving their needs. You're helping them solve a problem. You're teaching them. They trust you. And not only will they purchase, they will share it with their friends because they know you're not going to spam them every day about a different product or service that you have. So it's magical. Now, sometimes you have a lot of things to say. Maybe you just got a new catalog that came out and you have like 50 new things you want to tell everybody about. You can do that within a multiple image post or on a Facebook Live, or you just have to balance it with more of the non-marketing stuff. And sometimes you can do that where it's kind of about your company or your product without actually selling. And I'll give you some ideas. And then the casual or personal is thrown in to build rapport with people and help you be more relatable, because sometimes it feels a little impersonal and you want to start planting the seeds that you're just like them. You're just, a normal person. And one of your posts, somebody will say, wow, that's funny. She's really cool. And next thing you know, they're asking about how to join the business. So I think I have some examples here. This is about the non-marketing. Think about it as sharing instead of selling. And I think I have some ideas. Okay, so here's an example that Melanie had posted where she's not asking for anything in this post. It's a tip, an idea, an inspiration, right? And I know as a viewer that if that was the post that got me to say, wow, that I'm going to check out what else she does, I know I can click through her name and find out her business information. You have your business information on your page. It's just that every post doesn't need to have that. So on the left, you'll see I have ideas, links to articles, inspirational quotes work great, how-to videos or pictures. So let's say you sell a cleaning product and you want to show people how to clean their silverware or something like that. You can be using your product in the picture, but you're not asking, or in the video, you're not asking them for a sale at the end of that post. So no links to your own website for it to count as a non-selling post.
That's so funny, Karen. I was just typing to the comments going, oh, this is so good. And then you put my post up on this.
Yeah.
It looks like me going, oh, I'm so good. Yes. I can see Lisa has just written in that the webinar's cutting in and out. So you can just refresh the screen. It's usually just the connection of your internet signal. So you can refresh the screen and there's even a button at the top of the page that you can reconnect. But don't worry, it's all coming through fine on our recording.
Okay, good. So if people needed to, they can always check it later. Yeah, good. Yeah. So it's really fun I feel like if you think about those of you that do home parties, you don't just walk into the party and start showing people everything with price tags on it and then say, you're going to buy one of these. How many of these things are you going to buy? Did you buy it yet? We don't go, that's not how we do things in person. You teach them about things. So I like to think of the home parties as a teaching experience. And then at the end, you pass out the catalogs or however you do it and you get the sales. So we all have information about ingredients or how things are made. Those kinds of things can be about your business, but you're not asking for the sale in those things. Okay. And then, true. Yeah. And then you get to the selling part. So now we did 9 non-selling. Now we're doing a selling one, and think about it as serving, because selling is serving. That's when you're going to solve a problem for somebody with your product. And here's some ideas. Another one from Melanie. I like to do this, customize it.
Hey, there I
begin. Right. So those of you who have companies who have a really strong social media presence, you might want to just share from their page. Or if you have a resource library of photos, you can get those from there. Again, I don't want you to reinvent the wheel, especially when it's your product pictures. That also helps the company make sure all the pictures of the product are kind of in alignment with their branding and all of that kind of stuff. You might want to do a product of the week. I know people that are really successful doing that once a week, something about a product, highlighting that product, highlighting your host program or your income opportunity, running a contest where they win one of your products. And again, you want to follow the rules on the contest. Maybe sharing your current specials or product launches. Anything with your link counts as a promotional post. And as I mentioned before, you can use multiple images in one post, or start an album and share the album, or do a Facebook Live. So it doesn't mean you can only talk about one product a week. Just find ways where it really only generates that one post to every 9 of the non-promotional. And sometimes, like, you get back from your convention or something, you just have so much to talk about. Maybe you'll have 3 or 4 or even 5 posts a day. You can still have that one multiple image post or a Facebook Live. And then every day you might have one that's promotional even. Depending on what else is going on. In general, I recommend 1 to 3 posts a day seems to be a good amount of posts in general, just if anybody's curious about that. And then we get to the fun, personal or casual post. This one, I gave one of my own examples here, just because I like this picture. But this would be, asking them a question, get them to laugh, share a funny video, something like that, that really has nothing to do with your business. And what's really cool about this is usually these are the posts where you get a ton of likes and comments. And what'll happen is because of the way the algorithm works, when you have that one super popular post, there's a ripple effect the rest of the week on your visibility because all of a sudden you've gotten Facebook's attention. Oh, people like her. So you'll see your engagement go up overall because your reach goes up after that. One of the most popular posts I ever did was I just had gotten some little short boots and they were my first pair ever. And I just posted a picture of the boots and I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I never got little booties before. And I posted a picture of them. I think I got like 140 comments on those boots talking about how cute it was. And then I just rode that wave the rest of the week. So it was super fun to do. That's how you can tell when people are paying attention. When you post something like that and they comment, you're like, okay, people are seeing my post. And of course, as some people like it and comment on it, more people see it and it just kind of builds. So you can kind of leverage that. And then the last main concept I want to talk about is how to fit this all in so you're saving time. It sounds like a lot, depending on what you've been doing already. I'm actually going to teach you a way to do your social media marketing on whichever one is your favorite platform in about 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm really big on having life balance, stopping work at a certain time, spending time with your family. I mean, most of us are doing a home-based business because we want to have time with our families. But what can happen is you get caught up in so many things that you're constantly saying, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute to your kids. And then dinner's late and, all this kind of stuff. It ends up hurting your families. And I don't want that to happen to any of you. So I would like you to really think about how can I be more efficient in the time that I spend on social media and look at it as just one aspect of my business. Pinpoint what you want to do in about 15 or 20 minutes a day. Now, if you want to do multiple platforms, it's going to take a little longer. If you're a leader, you might also have your team support group and things that are going to add to it. But if we think about each place as 15 or 20 minutes, it can really work well. Maybe you have a power hour of social media and get it done. So I have something I call social media CPR. And it's the simplest thing ever, but it helps you remember what to do every day. So the C has to do with commenting. I like to say this can revive your business or add some heart to your business. Commenting on other people's posts. So every day, find 3 to 5 different posts to comment on within your newsfeed. And this shows that you're social, you're interactive. You're not just getting on there talking about yourself or your product all the time. You're actually interacting with people. Now, it might be within groups. It might be on other business pages. Did you know that a business page can comment on another business page? You just click a little drop down arrow. So, if you find a business page that serves a similar demographic to what you serve, maybe you sell, makeup or something, and you go to Elle magazine or beauty magazine or something like that, you can comment as the name of your business. But 3 to 5 so that you're interacting and getting exposure to new people as you do that. If you want to be really smart about it, you're going to comment a little bit more on the people that you've been thinking might be great for your business or they've been showing some interest. You don't want to be weird and comment on every single one of their things because then they're going to get, they're going to think you're stalking them or something. But once in a while, that's fun to do. So 3 to 5 comments. Then the P stands for posting. And what I mean by that is posting consistently. Minimum once a day on Facebook, because for the algorithm to know that you are engaged and active, it needs to see something new every day. Now, for some of you, that's hardly anything because you've been posting a lot more than that, but minimum once a day. And I'd recommend that even like on your business page, there's a little schedule button. So if you're going to be going away, maybe on vacation or something, set some posts up to go out so that you don't really miss any time. Because it can take you a while to build back up in the algorithm if you have several days in a row. Some of the other platforms you can post a lot less. On my Instagram, I just kind of post when I see something cool to take a picture of. I don't really do it every single day. Pinterest is one where I actually save it till Fridays because that's my day to just kind of relax and catch up because I know I'm going to spend some time there because it's addictive. So, you'll find your rhythm and see how much you want to post. But I would say minimum once a day, at least on Facebook. And then ideally using that 911 code that I mentioned. And then the R stands for replying. And I always feel like I shouldn't have to tell people to respond because, you know, you speak when spoken to. So if you're in this networking meeting and you're all sharing about who you are and what you do, and somebody makes a comment about, wow, that sounds really interesting, you're not just going to stare at them. But for some reason on social media, a company or a business person will post something and then they get comments underneath and you never hear back from the original person that posted. So they don't ever know that you checked in or that you're even reading them. Now, I say you don't have to respond to every single one individually, because sometimes you get a lot of comments, especially if you're doing these really cool posts. But at the end of the day, or maybe at the beginning of the next day, I like to go back and check and see how many, you know, who's commented, and then maybe do one blanket. Wow, this is great. I'm so glad you guys shared. You know, maybe you like them or something like that. Answer the ones that are specific, but check in on the post. And sometimes what that'll do is drive the engagement even more. So people will start commenting again and keep that post going. And every time somebody likes and comments on a post, you get exposure to their network and possibly increased reach in general on Facebook. So comment, post, reply, and then the social media 911 are the main things I want you to remember. And if you're doing these things on whichever ones are your favorite or social media platforms, you'll be able to focus more on connecting with people, because it's not about the numbers and how many people you have. It's about how many people are interacting and engaged. So at this point, I think what I'm going to do is let me go to show you my screen and our special offer. And I know Melanie can post the link in there as well. Let me see, how do I get out of this?
Yay! We got some great news for you all too. So
yeah.
I've actually brought up the bright yellow button in the offer tab. So if you have a look at where you've been seeing the comments and the questions coming in, there's a bright yellow sign that says special offer and free gift. And then you go just underneath where you can see the bright yellow sign, and then there's a blue button that says click here for the special offer. And Karen has been super generous and offered something that is only for us at Party Plan 123. Woohoo!
I have not even talked about this in my own social media or anything yet. So you guys are getting the first peek at this. I'm super excited.
We are special. Jane's saying she got it, thanks. So maybe Jane's already got your special offer. She might have
Good.
So yes, I've got the bright yellow sign there now, and I will also put a sticky message at the top of the comments that has the link in that too. So Karen, you can explain this for everyone, and I'll go do that. I just want everyone to know this is something that I highly recommend. I have met with Karen now to get to know her and understand the type of training that she's offering, and doing that in combination with the surveys and the research that I'm doing with Party Plan 123 followers right now. I am extremely confident that this is the perfect fit for our followers from Party Plan 123. So this is something we've looked into and researched for you. And Karen, how about you explain to everyone what we've got for them?
Wonderful. So I love this course that I'm doing. It's based on my books. Actually, both of my books, I have Social Media for Direct Selling Representatives, which is my first book, and Social Media for Direct Selling Leaders. And to be honest, the reason I did the leaders book is because being a leader was my favorite part of being in the field, but also because I had more to say and it didn't all fit in my first book. So my books are very content rich. So I included in the leaders book not only how to train and support your team, but also things like YouTube and Facebook Live and blogging and those kind of things. So they'll all be included in the course, along with the social media basics, social media parties, all the things that you need to know as a direct seller. And what's really cool about this course is you actually get 6 months access to an online learning platform. In fact, let me see if I can pull this up on my screen really quickly, just because it's kind of unique. It's not like a membership site. It's more of a on-demand learning system. Now, I did say in the special offer that the full modules of the course are not going to open until November 24th, but this part in the orientation is open. In addition to my private Facebook group, in which I have regular webinars and Facebook Live, and I post additional training in there. You can get access to that as well. If you purchase,
this is great to see inside.
Yeah. So I can't show you the next ones yet because they're not live. But if you look at this, what's really cool is down the center of the learning platform, there will be an activity, and most of them are going to be videos. It's just this orientation is an audio. There will be something to do and then additional tasks that you need to work on. And there'll be a guidebook and all of that. And as you do each one of the things one by one, you go over here on the left where it says orientation to-do list. So it'll be module 1 to-do list and so on. And you check off the box that you did it. And the next module does not open up until you've said that you've done the other things, which is really cool because it helps you take things one step at a time. And it's designed to be completed in about 10 weeks. And every other week we have a live call to answer questions and things like that, in addition to the things I already have going on in my group. And let me go back and I'll tell you what the topics are just so you can kind of see. I have all kinds of bonus material that's coming as well. Let me see here. I have later on your own time, you can look through here and see about that. But I've got social media best practices, including all kinds of details about Facebook, the news feed, using their features. The first one is mostly about Facebook. And then I have bonus modules on LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, and other things, because I can only put so much stuff and I didn't want to overwhelm the people who are new and want to be able to just take the basics. So those of you who are ready for more will be able to get to more. And then once you go through the required things, which will be the first 4, basically saying you've watched the video or done the activity, then you get to move on to module 2, which has to do with the problems we run into with social media and looking again at the Facebook jail. And I have videos that where you can see things and how to do them better. Resources for creating your own images, how to use social media to sponsor, to attract people to join your team. And then how to adjust your privacy and other settings on Facebook. And then I have some bonuses on do's and don'ts for all the different platforms. And I'll have some additional trainings from some outside speakers as well. And then we go into social media parties. So those of you wanting to learn more about how to do Facebook parties more effectively, and I'm also going to include information on Instagram parties and Pinterest parties, which is pretty revolutionary for some people. And then how do you take that same concept and turn it into an opportunity event where you invite people to come to this event on Facebook and learn about your opportunity, where I'm not just saying, join my team and here's the comp plan and here's the history of the company, but I'm actually reaching out to them in kind of an emotional way and having them think about how their life could be different 2 years from now and maybe how my opportunity can help them achieve that. It's a really special way to do this. So you'll get to learn the details and see a video on that. And then module 4 has things that I couldn't fit into the other modules that are not necessarily specific to Facebook or LinkedIn and those. So video tips and tricks, promoting your opportunity a little bit more in other ways online, maybe websites. I have a module or a lesson on serving the mom and grandma market. There are certain things you can do to attract moms and grandmothers because they tend to be really good sponsoring and host leads. And then a little bit on blogging, and then I'll have some bonus lessons on. So, I mean, there's just so much stuff. So there will be about 4 to 6 basic tasks to do that you need to check off to move on. But you actually are going to get 6 months access to the course materials. So what a lot of people do is kind of get through the basics and then go back and do the bonus material. So I don't want you to feel like you're going to be overwhelmed. Just do the basics, then come back and do the bonus materials. And then you also get the live calls, of course, my Facebook group, which is great. I mean, this is the one way that you can get almost immediate access to me because I go to my Facebook group and answer questions there first over anything else. So I'm going to be, since it's not launching till November, I'm going to be charging $297 for this course. It's actually worth more. Like if you add up the hours in the training and the consultations and all of that, it's well over $3,000 value. And I'm offering it to you guys for the first time. I have not promoted this anywhere else yet for only $99. Whoa. $99 US.
99?
Yes. It's a great deal. So a third.
Wow.
And the reason I'm doing that is because, number one, I love you, Melanie, and this has been a great partnership that we have, but also because I know that you're going to have to wait until November to get to the bulk of it. This way, those of you who are curious can get into it. I'll give you some additional things in our Facebook group while you wait. And then once you hit the ground running in November, it will set you up for a great 2018. So
Yeah, and I will honestly let all of you know that when we first set up this event for you,
Mhm.
Karen was going to charge you twice that
Yep,
price.
I was. That's right.
So Karen
It's a
actually,
deal.
she just like halved it again from the already massive
Yep.
value,
Yep.
in just the last few days. So
Yep.
yeah, this is amazing.
To
She's
me,
giving
it's
you
like a
something really special.
no-brainer. I even offer at the bottom, you'll see I have a 2-pay plan. So if you want to do half now, half in 30 days, we can do it that way. You get access to everything for the 6-month period. Doesn't start until November. So you're actually getting 8 months in the
Okay,
course. So you can go
great.
in and work on the orientation. And then as I add new things, you'll be able to go in there and work on that as well. You will get the bonus tutorials. I will also be posting some of those in the Facebook group even before they appear in the learning platform. So it's really a great place to go to kind of learn about social media and to get connected to me to be able to ask your questions anytime. Oh, and one more thing. The Facebook group is normally a $10 a month thing for people who are not in my course. And when I launch the course, they'll get 6 months of that group in the course. But for you guys only, I'm offering lifetime. You can just get in that Facebook group, stay in there forever. You're never going to be charged for that additional support. Even if you're finished with the course and don't need to continue, you can stay in there. And then when you run into those troubles, like something's not working on Facebook, you can come to me and ask what's going on. And I will usually be able to find an answer. And I have to be honest with you guys, the reason why I'm offering that lifetime access is it's just less paperwork for me. It's easier for me. I'll just put you all in there. And then when November comes and I'm officially launching the course, that's when I'll start doing more of the tracking in that group. So you guys are really getting a smoking deal.
We're
You'll be
getting
able,
spoiled.
you
I
are.
think, Karen, I actually think it's a little bit because your daughter's living in Australia at the
Yes,
moment, and
it
I'm in
is.
Australia, and I think you're getting really excited
I'm
about
just too
the
excited.
Australian vibe.
Yes, it's awesome. It's just so much fun too. And so it's a little bit of that and a little bit of me. I'm just being lazy. It's just easier to do it this way. That way I know you guys have what you need. I'm also going to give you, if you join by the 2nd of October, you'll get the ebooks of both of my books. I thought about doing the prints and I'm like, oh, that's going to be expensive to ship if anybody's over there. So
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and we'll give you guys the ebook version of both books. So you can refer to those while you're working through the material in the course. And I do.
Yay, Sally. Sally's saying what an awesome deal. And
I
Karen,
know.
I'm pretty sure, I think I can see on the screen there, I think we've got a prize draw
Yes.
too that's coming up. So I just want to, because we love to do prize draws. We do that a
Yes.
lot with our new members. So everyone who's getting this offer today, there'll be a special
Yes.
prize draw. And
Yep.
going back to what you were talking about with your Facebook group and you giving
Yes.
everyone from us, from Party
Yes.
Play 123 lifetime access.
Yes.
I think the way I can understand that would be of a huge benefit is because that then gives everyone access to know the updates of what, because social media and online marketing changes so super quickly that often I find, even if I go through someone's course and I do everything, now within the next 6 months, 12 or 18 months later, there could be so much of that is different. And so the group would be one way to stay up to date with the most recent information, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, that's where I go first to tell people when I see some new feature or did you guys see this new button on the mobile app? And then we all kind of figure it out. Oops. As we
Someone wants you.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, what must be what's going on here? It's the school calling. They must have some announcement. But anyway, yeah. So that's where I post all of the updates of things like that. And also, I should mention that with the book, you get online resources, and within there, and you'll be able to access this even with the ebook. I'm updating the book with some new material by November also. So you will get the brand new ebook, and I'll show you how you can access the new version when it's ready too. So I am doing a giveaway. Anybody who purchases within the next 24 hours, I'm going to enter you guys into a draw for rebating your course, and I'm mailing copies of the books to the winner. And then I also have an audiobook of the first book where I'm reading it to you. I went into a studio and did the audiobook, and it's awesome. You can actually hear me. I talk a lot slower because I had a voice coach telling me to slow down. So you'll be able to understand it a little bit better. I've been kind of speaking fast here tonight. and I also throw in some social media gear, which will be a surprise for you. And in addition to that, some of you have filled out the form to get the free chapter of my book on how to stay out of Facebook jail. So among those who requested that free chapter, you'll also be entered to win a drawing for both of the print books. So I'm going to mail those out.
Let's do a review, Karen, because I always get questions on these kind of things.
Right.
So first of all, to access this generous offer, you'll see you can either choose to look at the bright yellow sign in the comments section and then click the blue link that says click here for special offer. When you click that, it should just open up a second window in your browser. So you'll keep the webinar open and then it takes you to that page that Karen has had up on her screen. And so basically you've got a super massive discount if you jump in there today. Then there's a prize draw. So Karen, make sure I've got this right. So one of our new members is going to get a print copy of your book.
It's actually hardcover copies of both of the books. Both of the books. I will mail those. Are you going to sign it? I will sign them, and I'm including some other goodies in there as well. So it's really cool. Not very many people have the hardcover. I only keep about 10 of them in stock myself. Ooh. So it's kind of a nice little exclusive for you.
Oh, Jackie's getting excited now. She's saying this is a phenomenal deal.
It's crazy.
And she's been thinking of getting your books anyway. So Jackie,
good. Perfect.
Remember today, you might get them as a gift. Rebecca is saying that she's in already. And Karen, I've been saving some questions for you too.
Yes.
So that's the page that we can also get the free gift of the chapter from one of your books.
Just have to scroll down a little bit to this part right here.
Okay. And is it the same prize that we're doing for people that are getting the free gift chapter too?
It is yes. So you'll get both of my books and some of the social media gear. I'll tell you, one of them is, let me see if I can get to it. I can't get to it right now, but there's a little mini ring light you can clip on your phone. So you take the most awesome selfies. So it's like those kind of things. So you'll get the prize package of the book and the social media gear, both books and the social media gear. For anybody who requests the chapter, I'll just go to my mailing list and pick a random winner for that one.
Beautiful. So I think Jane's just saying that she's in now too. So Karen, I've been saving some questions here. Would you like me to go over to a Q&A time while we wait for everyone to jump into your program course, and then that'll allow everyone to get in for the prize draws. So Bristol had a question right back at the beginning where she was really just expressing that out of all the different social media platforms, she finds Pinterest confuses her quite a lot. So is there like a 30-second little snippet that you have to help us take out the confusion?
Yeah, it's different. It's really different because I'll just show you. I just went over to mine. So when you're on the
doing a great job of this screen sharing too.
Good. Wonderful. I'm glad it's working. Now, I don't know why it went gray all of a sudden. There we go. So you'll see the news feed. This is the news feed. So all the different people that I follow, and usually it'll ask you to connect to your Facebook and your Twitter followers, if you have that, to kind of get your base of connections in here. These are all the different things that they're posting. So like maybe I see this and I click on it and I'm like, oh, that looks really good. So it's a recipe, creamy black bean taquitos. So what I'll do is I'll save this because I want to use that recipe someday. So I click on save and I save it to one of my boards, which are categories. And you set this up either as you go, see at the bottom it says create a board, or when you first start. And I actually have a board called...
Oh, wow. You've got lots of boards.
I have tons. I tell you, I'm addicted to this. Let me see. The one that's called Nom 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 is where I put the yummy recipes. So I save it to there. And now that's stored in my Pinterest category for food. And as I did that, it went out to my friends. So now on their news feed right here, they'll see that as well. So that they might be like, oh, I like that too. So you kind of do this on all kinds of different things. Sometimes I just randomly scroll through and find interesting things. Or the other thing you can do is you can go surfing on the web. So let's say I know I want to get I want to get a luggage tag for my suitcase I'm going to bring. So I just search on luggage tag and I find a website that's selling luggage tags. Oh, this is with a logo, but just pretend I found the right thing. And I'd be like, okay, this looks really cool. And what I do is there's a little button you can install at the top of your browser that is for Pinterest. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of
Yeah, we can
small.
see that pretty well.
Right. So I'm going to click on that. And that means I want to pin one of these things to my board. So let's say I found this and I'm like, oh, that would really stand out on the conveyor belt at the airport. So I'm going to save this because I want to buy it someday. And I'm telling you this so you guys see people might be doing this for your stuff, right? So I'm going to put that in a board. I have one that's called things like stuff I want to buy someday or something like that. Let me see if I can find it. I've been doing this a while, so I have what is it? Maybe it was called something like amazing things I want to buy or something like that. But I would save that to that board.
You can do a search up the top there.
Yeah, I thought I was going to see it right away. It's something like I think it's like maybe it's like get me something genius stuff I gotta get. That's what it's called. So I'm going to save it here.
You've got creative board names.
Right. Oh, another thing you can do if you really want to leverage this is on your individual boards, you can put descriptions of the different topics, and those words are all Googleable too. So like I can look at my boards here. So you can see I've been saving recipes because I'm on a diet. I'm trying to get healthy, So you can see I can go to anybody's profile and look at the things that they've posted. Or I can click on the boards and look at the categories or the labels of things that they've been posting. And if you want to, so like my topic is social media. So on the social media success one, I included some good keywords in the description. And then once in a while, there will be an article that I wrote or a product that I sell that has to do with that. It mixed in with following the 911 code, things that other people have posted or things that are not directly selling. So I hope that kind of answers, gives you
wonderful. Now, Jane was just asking again, what's the name of your book about virtual parties?
The one with the virtual parties is the first one, the gray one. It's called Social Media for Direct Selling Representatives. It's also, you can get it on my site. And the only thing is, if you are international, I have to charge you international shipping. So what I do is I find out what that is, and then I charge you for that. So it's kind of a pain. You can also get it on Amazon and other places. But the gray book, in fact, even if you're a leader, I say in the leader's book about, 5 pages in, it says, stop what you're doing. If you haven't read the first book, go read that one because the second one builds on it. So you're always going to want to start with this gray one, Social Media for Direct Selling Representatives.
And Jessica was asking, looks like Jessica is using a ton of social media, which is wonderful. Good. When it comes to Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest, she's feeling like she doesn't know when is a good time to post. Now, I'm thinking that it's probably different for each of those platforms.
Yeah, it's actually.
And then it could even be different for each person.
That's what I was going to say. If you ask 20 different social media people, you're going to get 20 different answers. So what I would say for anybody on any of the platforms is to kind of test it out and see when you get the most engagement. So I used to think daytime was the best time for me just because that's when it's convenient for me. But I find that when I post after 8 p.m., I get a lot more engagement because that's most of my people are moms and they wait to get on the computer till after the kids are in bed and things like that. It also noontime can be good, but then I'm on Pacific time zone. Then there's people on Eastern where that's only 9, or that's 3. It's kind of, it kind of depends on you and the bulk of your audience. You can look at the analytics for most of the sites and see when the activity is. But I have found that even on Facebook, like there will be a curve on your Facebook business page for your analytics that will show you, let me see if I can call it up real quick, the area where you can see, I'm going to put my glasses on, I think, because the writing's too small here, where you can see the curve of the time zones of when people are most active. It's not going to show you, let's see, is it this one? It's not going to.
I keep statistics on all that type of thing. Yeah. So I look at that. I make myself check it each week.
Yeah. And even if you didn't want to go.
That builds your confidence and your knowledge in when you should be posting.
Now, I will say though, so like on this one, you'll look like the peak would be, what is it, 6 p.m. As of this last week, 6 p.m. is when most of my people are online. It's not saying 6 p.m. is when they're most likely to interact. It's just that most of my people happen to be on Facebook at 6 p.m. So most people would be like, okay, I'm going to post at 6 now. But what I've also found is you also have more competition among their other friends posting at that time. So sometimes it pays to go to one of these little dips or even some of these crazy times in the middle of the night, because even though there's less people, so 1,212 or something on there, if they have less posts to choose from, the algorithm has fewer posts to choose from to show them, your post might show up, and 1,000 people seeing my post would be okay with me, even though it's not the majority. So I would play around with it because, again, everybody's different. And each
Karen,
platform, like you said, is different.
I'll ask you the next question, and then I've just put my little link in the offer tab there for a second on the survey. So there were quite a few people wanting to help me out with that too.
Wonderful. Great.
So just explain again, Jane wanted to know how to get the free gift. Oh, she was saying it wasn't allowing us to click on it, but is that working for everyone? Have you been able to get the free gift? I might just test that out.
Yeah, see if anybody's, I'll put a fake one in here too.
Okay.
I'll use a different, I have to use a different email address than I normally do because I've already subscribed.
While I've got my link in the offer box for the survey, in case anyone's trying to open up Karen's special offer, if you have a look at the green sticky note at the top of the questions in writing, that's still got the link in there for the special offer. I'll swap them over again in a moment.
Yeah, you know what?
Test that and we'll make
sure. If anybody has, what I'm going to do is go and try to grab the code again in case something got funky in there. And I can set that up, and I apologize if that has not been working.
Okay, we can give you a moment off the screen to go and do that if you like, so we can just get that fixed up for everybody.
Yeah, let's do this.
And let me see.
I will go over here and go.
We're sort of juggling two computers here, everybody.
You know, technology is such an amazing thing when it works, and when it doesn't, it can be so frustrating, but we're all dealing with the same kinds of stuff. So hopefully you guys can be patient a little bit here.
So Cynthia had a question of how do we comment as a business page?
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, Karen, do you want me to give you some time to go and fix up that free gift page?
Yeah, because that's a fun one. Let me see. I'm going to grab. Yeah, go ahead, and I will work on this for a second.
I might see if let's test my skills in screen sharing.
Yeah. Here, let me take this down.
Okay, so I will share my screen, and I'm going to open up, I'll open up my Facebook, and this will come over to my page, I believe. Now, if you go to this little arrow up here, and let me just check, are you all seeing my screen? Let me just make sure that is what you're seeing on your computers right now. Just doing it. Oh, yes, you are. Wonderful. Okay. So if you can see this little arrow, drop down arrow up the top here, you've got the different options there to choose whatever pages and profiles or pages that will connect you to. But if you want to go to somebody's post, and if you want to comment on a different profile or a different page, on that individual post, when you click on your profile picture, you'll see all the different options that you've got there. So you can see for me at the top, it's got my Melanie Parker personal profile, and then party plan 1, 2, 3. And then I have a page, which is a business page for Melanie Parker as well. So you would just simply switch that over, and then you'll see your little profile change. And then when you comment here, it will actually post that from the page or the profile that you are doing. So I think that came up close enough on the screen for everybody to see. By the way, this is the link that you can send everyone to for the replay of this webinar, partyplan123.com/guest trainer. And we'll have this open for, I believe we've got it at least 10 days, Karen. I think we're going until October.
2nd of October, I think, is what we decided. Yeah, so that's awesome. Okay, I think I almost have this. I've just resubmitted the entire code. So
that's great. I'll find our next question. Okay, we did have a couple of questions on your last when we started talking about the CPR and the 911. So
Okay.
Shana was asking, how often do we do the 911 theory?
Oh, good question. So that basically is up to you. It's if you think about it as a proportion of posts. So it might take somebody 2 weeks to get through that because it's 11 posts, right? So it might take somebody 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks if they're only posting once a day. Somebody else who likes to post 3, 4 times a day, it might go quickly. But basically, that's your proportion of posts anytime that you're posting. So let's see. Yes. Okay, good. I think I got it now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
I hope that makes sense.
yeah, well, also leading on from that, Shana was asking more about what exactly is customer week in the 911 theory, but that might be something that's more in the course. Is that
Yeah,
right?
no. So it was customer of the week where you can actually have as one of your posts highlighting. I would pick one of your hostesses, especially if you're in a party planning business, where you share her picture or have her send you a picture of her holding your product and have her give you a little bio about her life or something like that. It's a way to give your customers recognition, right? So you're going to ask their permission to do that, and everybody loves to be recognized. So it's super fun to do that. And then what that's doing is it's planting a seed that these are the kinds of people just like me who buy this product. And maybe I want to also. Hostess of the week, same thing. You can just kind of give them a little shout out. Hope that makes
Great.
sense.
Now that's all the questions that I was saving, but now I haven't had a close look at the recent chat that's come through.
Okay.
Jackie's saying I see the link now. Thank you.
Okay.
So
Good.
Jackie,
Sorry about
good.
that. I don't know what
If anyone
happened.
needs anything, just like urgently type another message into the chat box right now. Karen, if you would like to, you are welcome to type in your email address into the
Yes.
chat too, just
Sure.
in case anyone needs anything.
Yes.
Good. Shana's liking our tips. Amazing. She's going to try that one.
Let me put my glasses on, make sure I
Um,
spelled it right.
I know Bridget's just telling me I look fabulous. I think I look intelligent because I've got my glasses on.
You know, is that it? Oh, we're
Oh, look at
sisters
your
here.
glasses. They match your outfit
I'm
and
wearing
your
my gray.
branding.
Yes, I have
I love
gray.
Karen's
I have them
necklace.
all.
We were in pre-presenter mode and I was absolutely loving that necklace. Do you want to give a shout out?
Sure, it's Chloe and Isabel. If anybody knows a rep for them. I love all the directs. In fact, I used to say almost everything on me is direct sales. I'm
I
like the
think I've
best.
got Premier
Yeah,
Designs
my
and
face has like different
Fifth
products.
Avenue collection. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're a walking advertisement really for everything,
Love,
aren't we?
love the industry. And I know
I'm
just like
sure
you
I've
all
got all
have
sorts of
found.
makeup on. I
Yeah.
would have so many different
And
brands of makeup
deodorant.
on.
I have so much. And I just love to support. There was something I read a long time ago that if each of us just bought $100 from other direct sellers, it would be a multi-billion-dollar industry, you know, beyond what it already is. And why not? We already know we have the best products. You get customer service from your individual consultant who will help you out with anything that you need. There's just nothing like this industry. I've always been a big advocate for doing that. So I wear different pieces from different companies all the time.
We've got more people asking about your books again. So I think you're saying, can I get it from Barnes and Noble?
Somebody asked about Jamberry. I don't have jams on, but I have, you can't really tell. It's a glitter lacquer from Jamberry on right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was that question I missed?
Well, I've got Yolanda and Jane asking about your books. So are they available at a bookstore or Amazon? I'm pretty sure you're on Amazon. I think I've seen you on there.
And I've actually heard that they are in bookstores, but if you can't find them at the ones that you like to use, let me know and I can give you a link because we've put them on. There's a site that we use that distributes them to bookstores and I can see my sales are happening on the site that distributes them, but it doesn't tell me where. Like who's I don't know. I just know I'm selling them. So if you can't find them, let me know. But usually if you just search on, I've done so well with the search engine stuff that if you just search on social media for direct selling Karen Clark, you're going to find it. So, and again, it's on my website as well. So that might be the easiest. I also have something interesting while we have a minute is if you do have a team and you want to use them as prizes, I have a bulk discount offer for 5 for a lower price, and
That's a
that's a
great
really good
idea,
deal.
especially now as we get
The
into the
holidays.
holiday
Yeah.
season, Christmas gifts and all that type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Brilliant for the team. Now, Jennifer was asking how many times a day should we post, which I'm going to guess is a very common question. How many posts per
I hate to say this, but it depends. Some people find that posting frequently gets them more engagement. In my experience, less is more. So maybe 3, because like I said, sometimes you have a lot to say. If you start posting hourly or every other hour, people, they stop paying attention because they know something will come around. So you want to give them a sense of looking forward to what you have to say. So, and you want them to turn on their notifications. And if you're posting too much, they're going to turn that off, or they're going to unfollow and just think they're going to go check on you. So the happy medium might be, I say 1 to 3, minimum 1. Now on Twitter, it's different because Twitter moves so fast. If you're only posting once a day, nobody's going to see you. So Twitter tends to be more automated because of that. So you can set things up with schedulers, or like you can have your Facebook posts go to your Twitter, or like when I post something on Instagram, I also have it go to my Twitter, or Pinterest can go to your Twitter, LinkedIn can go to your Twitter. Those kind of things help keep you up in the feed, because when people log on to Twitter, they're only seeing the things that are right in front of them. They tend not to scroll down a whole lot because so many new things are coming in all the time. And like I said, LinkedIn moves slower. Pinterest, you can get away with, a little bit less also.
And I tend to do the same thing again, where I look back and I review my results over the last week and then test different things out.
And it might be different weeks can change, what's happening in the world can change things. The holidays change things. So it really does vary. I like to.
I've just noticed Lacey's saying I cannot order your special. So Lacey, can you please let me know, are you finding something's not working? Like, is a link not working for you? Or is it just that you personally can't budget on it, or something like that? So if it's something you need help with and something's not working, please type in.
You can always email me also. I put my email in there, or contact me on the website, and I can always invoice you and add you to the course separately if we need to, if there's something wrong with the shopping cart.
That's good to know all those.
I know sometimes mobile users have challenges depending on, sometimes the shopping cart doesn't go all the way through on certain mobile devices. So if that's you, just contact me offline and I will hook you up on there. Looks like it. You do have to say you agree to the terms, and basically the terms say that you're agreeing not to share the content with other people, and that it's non-refundable, but your purchase, if you decide you hate it, can be applied to something else because of the digital nature of the program. I don't want people downloading it and sharing with their friends, and all that kind of stuff. So I just ask that you click on the little agree to terms, then you click on the checkout with PayPal, and then it should go over and charge your credit card or your PayPal account from there.
Okay. So Shana is asking, where can I find the link to re-watch the recording of this session? Basically, the same link that you got in here with is going to work again, but a general replay link that will work for everyone is just simply partyplan123.com/guest trainer. If anyone's ever confused, whenever we've got a guest trainer webinar on, if you just get to our website, we put it everywhere. And the same goes for our Facebook page. So whenever we've got a guest trainer event, we basically blast it out to everyone so that they can't miss it. So if you just get to the website, partyplan123.com, you will find information about our free webinars that's coming up too. Great. I think might be pretty much everything that I've seen coming in, Karen. So
I see a comment from another Karen saying she just figured out she had bought one of my books from Amazon in February when you got into direct sales, got it from Amazon, and they only let you download to Android. Oh, you know what you can do too is definitely, if you get the course, what I do when I deliver the ebook, I should have mentioned this, you're going to get a link where you can download the Apple iBooks version, the Android, or the, what do they call it? The Nook version, it's a PDF. I give you like all the different versions of the ebook, so you can download the one that fits your device if you want, or maybe you want to download the PDF for your computer and then you want to download the Kindle version for your phone. You'll get that also. So anybody who's got the ebook, and if you've purchased it in the past and you're not able to access it, just contact me and explain, and I can send you the newer link where I have all the different versions. So, because usually, like if you buy it on a Kindle, you're done. You just get it, you download it that one time, and you can't also read it on your, other device that's not a Kindle. So just let me know and I'll send those out to you. It's no big deal. But that's really cool that you already were in my, little circle. You should read it. You actually get to read my story about how I got into direct sales. I got even more personal in the leader book and explained to you guys about how I became a leader, and my first experience was interesting. I joined a company as a military mom, and we got transferred right away after I joined, and I didn't even know about uplines and downlines, and I didn't know anything about the industry, so I hadn't even met my upline director until one day she kept seeing my name at the top of her charts, and then she calls me up and she says, "Who is this Karen Clark?" Or my name was different then, but anyway, she came up to see me and I connected with her, and she was just very inspiring. So you'll see my whole story in my book about that.
So what are we doing next for the prize draws, Karen? I think, did you say we're giving people 24 hours for that?
Yeah, you know what? The prize drawing, since there was a glitch on that, we could extend that, and then maybe we can post about that. I can put it in a comment on the post also. So right now it's at the top of the page. Let's see, did I put that? Got to get my glasses on again. Oh, I'm not screen sharing. Sorry.
I've tried to put a last sticky note at the top there that's got all the links for everything we've been talking about, if anyone is getting confused.
Okay. I did not put a deadline on that.
You know what I didn't put in there? The replay link.
Okay, good. Yeah, the course drawing for purchasing, we put 24 hours will be entered into the drawing. The ebook request drawing, I did not put a deadline on yet. So maybe we should put, let's see, your time zones are very different than mine too. So right now for me, it's Wednesday evening, the 20th at 7:11. If let's extend it to Friday. I'm just making sure I'm going to be around so I can actually draw it. Yeah, let's do. So the 22nd at 7 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is for you. Friday. I'll just put that so that I draw. And then I'll translate the time later. Let's see. 22nd. Drawing. Okay.
Now,
so the next 48 hours, let's say.
If Louise is still there, I'm going to ask, is Louise still there? I think Louise is with Tupperware. She raised her hand with a request to speak, which I haven't normally used that function before. But if Louise is still there, type a little question, type in a comment, and we can test that function out and see if that works for you. And Karen, I was going to try that little redirect link option at the end too. So as we close off here, everyone, what I'm going to do is type in a little, what they call a redirect link, and it will take you to Karen's free gift and special offer page. We think.
Yeah, we're going to cross our fingers.
What's happened is this is the same webinar program that I've been using for a couple of years, but they've just done an update. So Karen is graciously helping me to test this out for the first time, and it's going quite well. So everything's going smoothly. But yes, so as we close off, I'm going to redirect everyone as we finish, and we'll just make sure that that function is working too. Wonderful. So I believe that is pretty much it. I know it's getting a little bit late in the evening in your time zone over there in the US. It's getting close to lunchtime here in Australia.
Yeah, I'm hoping my husband's out there making dinner for us. I'm just going to imagine that's what's happening out there.
That's good. My husband's away working, so no chance of that. I don't think the dogs are getting any dinner ready for me.
Too fun.
So thanks, everyone. It's been wonderful to have you all here and to be able to help you use your social media platforms, and not just Facebook, but get in there and start using things like Pinterest and LinkedIn and Instagram in much bigger and better ways to help your direct sales success. Thank you to Karen Clark for the
Thank you
first
so
time
much for
ever
having
being a
me.
guest trainer. You have done an absolutely superb job, Karen.
I really
We're
enjoyed it.
doing a virtual round of applause for you again here.
Well, thank you. And if anybody has questions or any challenges with the technology, just feel free to reach out to me on Facebook or on my email, on my website anytime. I'm happy to help, and I'm really generous with my support. So
I can see that Karen is saying that she's just got the amazing deal. Thank you very much. And she's looking forward to her future success. Tiffany is saying thank you.
Awesome.
Yolanda is saying, will you have training on LinkedIn? So is that course, inside the course, Yolanda?
It'll be a bonus lesson, but it'll be in there.
Kate's saying she joined the course, I believe, but she was having issues with the free download for Facebook Jail. Karen, I'm going to guess that the members actually get that Facebook Jail information in the course as well. So you will have that already in there, Kate. And
I'll be, those of you that are ordering within the 24-hour period, I'm sending you the ebooks link. I'll be doing that after dinner. So give me an hour or so and you'll get an email with the ebook link.
Of course. So just a quick reminder. So everyone who's joining within the next 24 hours receives
both of the books and
ebook versions. Yeah. And the grand prize draw is we're drawing a prize winner to get the physical books posted out to you in the hard copy and signed by Karen, which is very jealous.
I'll have to bring you some when I come to your workshop.
Why not? Yolanda, I can see you just put up your hand to speak. So Karen, are you happy for me to accept that and let's see what happens?
Sure.
So here we go, everyone. We're testing something here. Yolanda, if you are there, Yolanda, I've just actually pressed the green OK sign. And I believe if you start talking into the microphone of your computer or device, I think we are probably going to hear you. And I'll just do that on Louise's as well. Okay, so if either of those ladies, Louise or Yolanda, are wanting to speak to us, you can test that out right now. But
maybe they just thought that's how they ask a question. But
I think what happens is people just press the buttons and they try to find out what everything does. And they request to speak without knowing. And then when I talk to them, they get a little bit terrified.
Or they don't know how to undo it.
So again, let's do a quick wrap up and remind you of everything that we've got on offer. So go and grab Karen's super generous special offer. Remember, it was like already reduced from $300. It has thousands of dollars of value. It was going to be $200, and then Karen's reduced it again to only $99. And you can even put it on a payment plan. So for a teeny tiny, I think it's about $55 deposit, you can go and grab that today and you'll have instant access. So jump in there. And then of course, all of our new members in the 24 hours get the free ebooks sent out to you. And we are doing a prize draw grand winner for the physical books sent out to you and signed. If you want to go and help me out with the survey to know more about how we can continue to help you all with online parties and social media, I've organized that on a link on our website, partyplan123.com/survey. At the moment, it's a download form. It will just download a Word document and you can either email that to me or take a photo of it and Facebook message it to me. But I will be changing that to an online form so that you can just go on your device and fill it in online. And come and see us in person. So like in 3 weeks or something ridiculously close like that. Karen and I will be in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne.
I know. My daughter has said, they say Melbourne.
We say Melbourne. So we're meeting really close to the airport. It's at Quest Apartments. It's right near the Tullamarine Airport in Melbourne. Friday, the 13th of October, 7 p.m. Karen's going to begin the night with some training on social media. And then I'll finish off with doing training on how to get bookings without being pushy is the topic for that presentation. Have I missed anything, Karen? And your free gift. You can go download your free gift on that same special offer link.
I think you've got it all. That's a lot to remember. You did great.
There is a lot going on there, isn't it?
Right.
Thank you. Okay, we'll close this down. I'll keep an eye on those comments. Wendy's saying thank you.
Oh, great.
I
Oh,
think
thank
she might
you.
have just got in a little bit late, but that's okay. We've recorded it.
Yes,
So,
good.
good to see you, Karen. I think you must be leaving to go to Australia very soon.
We're leaving a week from Friday, so I'm starting to pack right now. Super
Okay.
excited.
Wonderful. Well, you have a great trip, and I hope,
Yes.
well, I know you will love your time.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful. I can't
And
wait
then
to meet you in person and
I'll
everybody
see
else
you in
too.
person on the very last day that you are
Yeah,
here in
that's
Australia.
right. Our last night.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, everybody. Have a
Lovely
great
to have
night
you
or day.
here.
All right, bye-bye.
I'll post a little thank you message into the chat, and we will see you again next time. Bye,
All right,
everyone.
bye-bye.